As the clock strikes 7, the vibes alive. Inner circles here, where voices thrive. Turn on your screens, let the magic unfold. Listening and healing as stories are told. Come one, come all, this is your time. No topics too tough, just heed the call. From mental health woes to justice we seek. Together we rise for the strong and the meek. A safe space for all, let's lift every voice. Inner Circle podcast where hearts unite. Sharing our truths, bringing hope to the light. Community strong, we're never alone. Together as one we've created.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Inner Circle podcast. Hope you had a long holiday weekend like we did here. We haven't been on since Monday, but obviously we held it down for us on Friday, but it's been a long, long holiday break. So, welcome to our entertainment segment, our regular entertainment segment. I'm your host, Abe Kamara. Today is December 1st, first day of the month, last month of the year. Me here with my co-host, Miss B. Miss B, welcome to the show.
Good evening, everyone. Happy new month. Yes, happy new month, Abe. Happy new month to Inner Circle Podcast family. The weekend was great, and so I'm happy to be here. It's your girl, Miss B.
That's good. That's good. Thanks for that. Folks, join the conversation tonight. Putting a comment in the chat. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on subscribe to our YouTube channel, X, Apple Podcast, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast. There's a growing movement. We hope you can join us and grow this thing. So again, man, before we get started, Miss B, before we get into the topic for tonight is just, as we always do the first day of the month, or the first episode of the month, we try to preview entertainment, what's coming out this month in the community, anywhere, in Minnesota, Philadelphia, wherever you are, whatever you are celebrating, galas, and all those great things. So it's December entertainment preview. But before we get into that, we'll go over our weekends. It was a long weekend, obviously. So I'll start with Miss B. Miss B, how was your weekend? How was your long holiday weekend?
The weekend was busy. I'm not 100%, so bear with me, but I just look forward to coming here on Mondays and catching up with you folks, right? I had a little bit of a cold, and so I doctored myself today because I got to get back to work tomorrow. But if you party as hard as I do sometimes, this is the side effect and the symptoms. You know how you go and you think you found the right medicine, and then they have all these side effects and symptoms. Well, if partying is your medicine, these are the side effects and symptoms of indulging in partying. So the weekend was great, right? I started out Wednesday. The weekend started on Wednesday. I started out Tuesday, letting everybody leave the office early. So they were super excited about that because the pending snowstorm was going to happen Tuesday night. And it did snow. And so we met virtually on Wednesday. And then I'm sure people, once they were done meeting with me virtually on Wednesday morning, I'm sure they went to start their weekend. I'm sure they didn't wait until Thursday. And so just been off all this time. But then, I was excited about the weekend because, my friend launches opening of his club this weekend.
Mhm.
And I'll talk more talking to entertainment preview, but went to that, indulged in that. And then imagine coming home from partying all night and being exhausted. Of course, mommy duties was bright and early. Sunday morning, we had to go to her cheerleading pancake breakfast fundraiser. I had to work that all day, and then came home, and that's when exhaustion starts to kick in. That's where you start to get cold. And so then I woke up not feeling 100% today. So just a little bit about my weekend. We'll get more into it later on in the hour.
Okay, that's good. Well, that was an eventful weekend. Well, my weekend started basically Thursday. I have my kids over, family over. With the exception of, it was it's always a special time around Thanksgiving for us because once in a blue moon, my daughter birthday comes around, and it happens this year. My oldest Bianca Kamara 10/15 on Thanksgiving Day, so that was, but she spent it at her mom's house. But obviously, my the other kids were around. We went and took a picture. But we spent the time here, at my house. Friends came over, other folks came over, and it was just a great, great food, great music, great drinks, and everything else. As a Liberian, people like
So
to,
which part of that meal did you cook?
no, oh, well, no, no, I ain't gonna say, I ain't gonna spill that beans, right? Because you like to say, hey, I did cook, I did clean and stuff like that, right? I like to get my hands dirty,
You,
so
you see how he quickly breezed through that?
I like to get
That's
my
just
hands
very
dirty. So
suspect right there.
yeah,
Really?
so anyway, that was that, and then Friday, I was up on Friday, so it was just relaxing. You know how you wake up after all night of drinking, partying, and having some fun, and then Friday you don't even want to get out of bed, right? But and as you said, the snow, had to clean snow, and then went to the gym. Saturday, a friend of ours, Titus, just had a baby, and
Yes.
we went to see his new,
Congratulations.
yeah, I want to see his newborn baby on Saturday. Even though it was snowing, we had a huge snowstorm here in Minnesota this weekend, right?
Did.
Especially, I mean, the Midwest as a whole, right? We had a huge snowstorm, so it's like all day Friday, Saturday, late Friday, all day Saturday, and it was messy, obviously, And then yesterday, they didn't do much, but it was a nice, long weekend, spent with my kids, family, and friends, and it was just great. And then, as I said, right, the beautiful part about it, my daughter turned 15, right? It's like she's growing up, she's becoming a young lady. It's like my shy little my shy little princess becoming a sharp mouth princess now. It's like the 15 is a whoa. So but yeah, but that was it.
I mean, my weekend was so packed. My week actually was so packed, I forgot. So Thursday, we got up as a family and we went to the gym. My instructor kicked my butt. That's what we started our way Thursday, and then we cooked. So Seisha made baked mac and cheese, and then I made some pepper shrimp, and then we hopped to two different places for Thanksgiving dinner. Yes, first we went to my best friend. We've been friends since we were 6 years old, and she lives in Atlanta, but she
Mm.
came in town with her two girls to have Thanksgiving dinner at her mom. And I call her mom, Mama Arlene. And so my family went and hung out with them for a little bit for the beginning part of the Thanksgiving day. That's where we got all the soul food from, right? So your black
Mm.
eyed peas, your collard greens, your mac and cheese, your dressing or stuffing, however way you want to call it. And then there were like 3 turkeys, right? And ate real good, went a couple rounds and got some to go food. So we're excited about that. And then we head over to the African Thanksgiving dinner, which they did have turkey, but sure enough, they had fried fish, they had jollof rice or fried rice. And Sasha took the mac and cheese over to their house, right? And we were there and probably till 11 a.m. And then these girls got up because Bianca got some moolah, birthday money. They must go Black Friday shopping. And so at first they just the two of them talking about, oh, can they should drive us to the Mall of America for us to go do Black Friday shopping. I'm like, what? No. So of course, yeah. So of course they just think they can just be, Bonnie and Clyde or Thelma and Louise out here in these streets now because somebody has a license. And so I had to take them to the mall. My dear, why was the mall packed, Abe? Why are Americans such large consumers?
Yeah,
Why are
that's
we large consumers? We
the
work hard.
economy. The economy depends on the American consumer. That's what I mean. That's just what it is, right?
We
The
would think
American.
we'd be broke. First of all, with all the
Uh,
stuff we've been dealing with a shutdown, people being laid off, I'm like, how is it people had all this money? The mall opened at 6:30 6 a.m. on Friday. We got there probably about like 3, 4, because parking was a whole issue.
Mm-hmm.
And the mall was still packed. The first store we went into, we waited in line for 45, 50 minutes just to pay for a few items.
Wow. Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
But in a way, it was worth it, Abraham, because the sales, it's like they were prepared for people to come spend their money. Most of the stores were 60% off, 40% off. So when you waited in line, the satisfaction was when you got to the register and they sell only $32.
Uh,
This guy, he had all this like $32. This is too cheap. I need to go back and spend some more money. And so we had a blast. And they spent, these are expensive girls, because while we in Skims, Aloe, Lululemon, there was no Marshalls or going to TJ Maxx or Marshalls, none of the cheap stores anymore. Just the expensive high end stuff stores. I'm just like, but even though, they're normally very expensive, if you didn't take advantage of the deal on Black Friday, then you really missed out. And so that's why I was not feeling good when I woke up this morning. So every day, I just realized every day since Thursday has been an activity. Because then Friday, like I said, we did Black Friday shopping, came from the mall exhausted. And then Saturday, woke up again, worked out, and then, went out Saturday night to the club. And then Sunday woke up and did the volunteer and fundraising thing. So I'm just like, this is why I felt like crap when I woke up this morning.
so first of all, right, every Black Friday always sets a record, no matter whether there's a recession or folks are broke or whatever, right? Because
Seriously.
I just learned, like listening to CNBC today, right? It's like there is it's record sales
I know it was the
on
highest.
Black
It had to
Friday.
be.
Yeah, I mean, and then today, even Cyber Monday is going to be a record because today is Cyber Monday. For those who don't know, today is just one, instead of going to a brick and mortar store, right, to a physical location. Today is the day where you just said, America, they get you all kind of way, they get those things, they get they get the money for you all kind of way. So it's setting a record $14.2 billion folks will be spending just one day. So it's like the economy is heavily dependent on the American consumer. We work and we are. Whether we live in paycheck to paycheck,
And,
we work and spend it. That's
oh
what it is,
my
right? It's
God.
like as you said, the deals. I mean, they join in with the deals, right? It's like even in today Cyber Monday, they are telling people, oh, 50% off, 60%, just go and free delivery, right? It's like free
Including
delivery.
plane tickets. Who knew you can buy plane tickets on Cyber Monday? Yeah, and
Oh,
save.
anything you can sit in the comfort of your home, in the comfort of your car, on your smartphone, or anything today. That's what it is, right? And it
And
ends at eleven
guess
fifty
this,
nine
guess
tonight.
what? Just as
Yeah,
I've gotten rid of all the expensive subscriptions, guess what they
yeah,
do to me? They
right.
said $2.99 for the next 12 months. Oh my God. So I've gone back and forth with the HBO Max. I'm so conflicted. Do I do it or do I not do it? Do I?
Oh, Black. Okay, you see, Cyber Monday. Here you go. Get
I'm
those
like, why
subscription,
are they
and then
doing this?
after, oh, after
So
the
I got
after.
the stars one now. So I have
Okay.
stars for $2.99. I pay $10.99 for the next 12 months upfront.
Mm,
I'm like,
mm.
man, if you go back and get all these subscriptions, Denise, it'll be cheaper. But still, the idea you just got rid of all your subscriptions. So I don't know.
And then guess what? After a year, it's going to you
It's
either
gonna go
take it
up
or
to
leave
regular
it.
price.
I
And then
mean, yeah.
I gotta remember to cancel.
And that's where they're gonna get you, right? That's where they're gonna get you. So
Yeah.
yeah, so definitely, right? Is that when it comes to shopping, even this holiday, right? A lot of folks are saying that the economy is high, we live in an inflationary environment, times are tough. And yes, times are tough actually, right? But hey, folks are gonna do what they need to do, right? If you need to buy your family a gift, you need to do it, right? If you folks have to come out of town to spend time with the family, it's going to happen, right? It's like life does not stop because the economy is not doing well.
No,
That's life
no,
doesn't stop because the economy is not doing well. Life more goes on. So, but
definitely.
yeah, so. But anyways, let's with this entertainment preview stuff as our topic for tonight. Let's talk about the new spot that just opened
Oh God.
in the capital city of the Liberia in the diaspora, Brooklyn Park. Tell us more about it because for me, I've just heard about it. I've seen some stuff on social media, but like you seems to be in the know. Is you know the person. You have been to the spa. Tell us more about it.
So I wanted to be in the know and I didn't want to be told, right? I didn't want to be told. And so because of that, yes, the owner is my friend, and
Mm,
he invited me. It was invitational only because it's a soft launch.
mm,
And so it lived up to its expectation and more, and lived up to the hype. So it looks really nice in there. I think what we're doing now is setting a standard for ambiance. And, as consumers, us who are, patronizing and going to these places, we're setting a standard. I mean, no more back in the days, you're going to be dressing up in all your expensive Gucci and Prada to go into some hole in the wall or some dive bar type space. No, you want to exude luxury, you want to see class, and you want that to be in the ambiance. And so that's what you get from the moment you open the door, right? You get all of that. It was beyond packed. You would think in the midst of a snowstorm that he was not going to have a good turnout. I was like, the turnout might not be great because of this weather. And then, my girlfriend Yama and I was joking, said, you know what? But fortunately, Minnesotans, sometimes in the worst of weathers, that's when we all decide we're going to be, rebellious and be out there and show enough. The place was packed. It was beyond capacity. I got there late. And just because it's one of those good times you get somewhere late and you want to be in the know, it's good to know the owner, because otherwise I was not going to be able to get into that place on Saturday. Got there extremely late. I got there 12:45 a.m. in the morning, right? And the place had been popping since 9 p.m. And mind you, it closed at 2 a.m. So I didn't get to be there for a long time, but it's like, what is it saying? I'm here for a short time, and I'm not here for a long time, or something like that. Either way it was, I was not there for a long time, but I had a great time, right? In that little 1 hour and 15 minutes I was there. There were bottles on my table, there was food at my table, and you know what it means, right? To say that you are popping. It's the DJ. So when he told me about the DJ, I was kind of hesitant because I know who my DJs are. DJ Rich, Edmund, Jeff, DJ Jeff. Those are my boys. DJ TC. Shout out to all the DJs. And he said DJ Chino, and I didn't know who DJ Chino was. Never heard of DJ Chino. You know DJ Chino, Abe?
no, I don't know who that. I don't know who that. I don't know who that is.
DJ Chino was lit.
Mm.
Mind you, I was wearing very high heels, probably about 3.5 inches, and I didn't sit down the whole time.
And you're still dancing. You're
I was
dancing the entire time.
I danced the entire time from the moment I got there, got to my booth, sat my jacket down. I never sat down again. Even though I had somewhere to sit, I never sat down. I danced. And that's how you can tell when the DJ is lit, because you don't want to sit down. Even if the shoes hurt, you still don't want to sit down. You're going to be dancing back to back, back to back. And so it was a great time to be had. Don't be told, be in the know. So go and check it up. Check it out, Casa Afri. It's in Brooklyn Park. I think the exact address is like 8515. It's where the festival food is, right off of 252 in Brooklyn Park. And so it was great.
So a couple of things there, right? First of all, uh, two things that never stop Minnesotans: cold and snow.
And
Okay,
snow.
cold and snow. That's just out of the question. First of all, is that, oh guys, snowing. The weather folks will say, you know what? Don't get out there. Weather is Caucasian or Mexican or Black American or African immigrants, Liberians, anyone you think about, so long you're Minnesotan, nothing stops us,
Yeah.
right? We always come out. It can be like 10 inches, the water force will be, oh, be careful out there. We're going to be out there. It is what it is, right? That's why
It
we
was
live.
it
That's
was
why we live here. So that's not gonna stop us from getting out there, and things like that. No matter the snow. Hey man, that's what the one thing when you learn how to drive in Minnesota, do not be afraid of driving in the snow because it comes with the territory. If you live here, it comes with the territory, and things like that. And then second, it was popping, but now, like, I mean, do we have like four spots, right? I mean, there's our
we do.
yeah,
Let's
there's
talk
jump. I
about
mean,
that.
there's
Let's talk
jumbo,
about that.
there's purple. I don't know. It's like there's Oreo.
Jumbo, Purple
Yeah,
Rose,
Oreo. Is Oreo still going on?
Oro.
What's
Yes,
Oreo
I
or
think
what?
Oro. They said Oro was shut down. They did renovations. It's
Mm-hmm.
back up. I'm gonna go and check it out. But yeah, so we have Jumbo, we have Oral Lounge, we have Purple Rose, Casa
and now
Afrique,
and now Casa Afrique.
Casa
So I
Afrique,
mean,
four of
and
them.
for folks who don't understand, right, it's like the radius between these spaces, right? It's
Probably
like
5-10 miles top.
so and as I said, like
And I'm
now
sure
you have.
all of them was packed on Saturday night, regardless of weather, regardless of the fact there's many of them. And
Mhm,
then to add to that equation, the fact
mhm,
is there's
mhm,
a fifth, if you want to talk about Black owned, it's
mhm.
African American owned. I know we have four, African owned, but we have a Black owned spot, actually two Black owned spots. If we want to venture outside of here, we can talk about Gold Room, that's downtown Minneapolis.
Oh no,
And
no.
that's
Let's talk about the Nova
okay,
suburbs
just in
because
here. Then
I was going to bring that up, but I just want us to focus on the Nova suburbs a little bit, right? Because that's where you have these
just
four
in the
spots.
Northwest Suburb, and then we'll check downtown to show you how
Mhm,
many
mhm,
popping
mhm.
Black owned spots that we have. And so I want to highlight that because the business person in me wants to talk about that. But yeah, if we're talking about just as far as social and the ability to have all these options and then they still be packed. To add to that, I would say Plush. Plush is right across the street from Casa Afri, and it
Okay.
has a similar. So there's been a lot of talk on social media about Casa Afrique and copying, and actually doing the same thing as Plush. But my rebuttal to that has been there's enough money for all of us out here to eat, which Saturday night proved that there is enough money for everybody to be able to make money and money to be had out here, because every one of these locations were packed beyond capacity, and they had their crowds. And so again, when we talk about competition, Casa Afrique and Plush are right across the street from each other, providing you similar ambiance, similar food, but you're going to have a slightly different crowd. For right now, let's say Casa Afrique crowd was a little bit more older, more mature, whereas I tend to see the Plush crowd, it has older people there too, but they entertain more younger crowd as well.
Oh,
It's
plus. Let me just hold you there. Plus, it's my first time hearing about it. Is it a black African American owned?
African American owned, yes, and it's
Okay.
been around before Casa Afrique.
Yeah, because I free just started, right?
Just
Isn't it
opened,
like
exactly.
yeah?
Just opened
Okay.
on Saturday. They had their soft launch on
Mm,
Saturday. Somebody was
okay.
telling me, if this is a soft launch, then what is the grand opening going to be like? Because it was packed. And so yeah, so you have options. You have Plush, you have Casa Afrique, you have Jumbo, you have Oro, you have Purple Rose, and you have all of those five of those options right within between Brooklyn Park, Brooklyn Center, and Crystal.
Crystal, yeah, Crystal. I mean, yeah. So I'm glad you brought out about. But one of the thing I want to bring up is that okay, that's like a freak, right? Like downtown Minneapolis, which is to me is a great location, right? I don't think you have a African immigrant entertainment because, like, I mean that community, right? You have the Ethiopian, you have the Somali, you have the East African, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. Even you have the South Africans, you know what I mean. Like, I mean, people, folks from Southern Africa, right? And the reason I brought that up, bro, when I went to the Davido concert, that place was like it was like a global scene for me, right? I didn't know there was this many African immigrants in Minnesota, but from the DeVito concert I said, oh whoa, I mean it's like you got a lot of folks here. So the reason I brought that up is like, don't you think it could have been you know uh something like Casa Afrique, thinking about exploring like maybe southeast Minneapolis or downtown Minneapolis or uptown instead of
That
this
I
location.
could
I mean, because of the
definitely
location, because you're talking about how, I mean, talking about the ambience, how upscale it is, right? Looking at our crowd, I know you said it was packed for the soft lounge. When it comes to this, like Liberian people, they're shining stuff from the first day, from the first day of stuff, right? But is this sustainable for our environment?
I think it's already sustainable, and I think he's probably already thinking, "Oh, I've outgrown this space," right?
Mm,
Because his space, I would say that's a little small,
mm,
but that just shows you, regardless of where people live, for some reason, it's just something about the Brooklyn Park area that just draws a crowd,
okay.
and it's like the epic center of Africa, to be honest, right?
Mm,
You see it in the fact the way people come to shop at our African food stores here. They could live Lakeville, Inver Grove Heights. They could be in St. Michael, Otsego, you name it. What other second ring suburbs? They're going to be in Brooklyn Park on any given Saturday, Sunday weekend because they're going to come here and shop for our food. And then, like you saw with when Oro was open, they will be here now for entertainment too. And so I can understand why you would make this your target location as somewhere to open a space still. Because one of the things I appreciate about the suburbs too, and that you're dealing with when you're in downtown, is that you don't have to worry about parking. You don't have to worry about paying for parking, right? You're not likely to have to worry about getting a ticket if you park to the wrong place. And most people feel comfortable driving on these roads after they've left the club to go home than coming from all the way downtown and then going to wherever else they have to go. So it's all of those things factor into why the Brooklyn Park location will draw a crowd. And to the point, I mean, you can tell from the fact that five location establishments are, like we said, within a 5-10 mile radius of each other, right? So that shows you this is where the target market is, this is where their target audience is, and this is where they need to be.
So you're not worried about oversaturation?
I'm not worried about oversaturation.
Okay.
Yeah, because the reality is Jumbo has some very loyal customers, right? They've been around for a long time. Any good business, you establish relationship with your customers and you don't worry about competition, right? Like I said, I think only thing right now is you have certain people looking for more ambiance, right? Everything is experience, and ambiance plays into an experience. If I'm going to spend my money, ambiance is important. You find people going to these upscale restaurants for like RH Rooftop. Everybody goes there for their birthday dinner. That place is expensive and the food is terrible. They don't even have the best menu, right? Nobody should sue me. But 9 times out of 10, anytime you check our social media, you'll see people there at RH Rooftop, because of the ambience. They have a beautiful place for eating and dining and makes great pictures, right, for your social media. And so because of that, we want to see it in our nightclubs as well. We want to see it in our businesses. We want to see it in our establishment. And those was the establishment that can give us that ambiance, that bourgeois, that bouginess, that luxury feel. We're going to go there.
Okay, well, that's good. Well, folks, tonight we are doing December entertainment preview, and we are focusing on the entertainment space in the northwest suburbs, and specifically Brooklyn Park, Brooklyn Center, Crystal, and also Minneapolis, right? Because man, you have all these entertainment spots opening. Some of them already been in the business for a minute, and then so it's like, and then a new one just opened. So December, I know that's where folks are going to be going to, to get their party on and things like that. So that's what we are discussing tonight. December entertainment preview. What's hot this month? What's going on this month? And obviously, Casa Afrique seems to be one of the trending, this one of the trending stuff that's like in our community right now, and things like that. So you can contribute to the conversation though, as Mary is doing here. She said, maybe Miss B, I'll let you take this one because I don't know what I have an answer to this. Is it safe for adults to go to this location? Which one will you choose for an adult of 60 plus?
So sis Mary, I'm not going to consider you elderly, but please hit me up if you're trying to go, and I'll make sure that you get there and you are safe and you have a good time. So, hit me
Which
up.
one will you recommend though? Which one, like, okay, we got Oreo, we got Jumbo, we
I
got
would,
Purple Wolves, and now we got Casa Afrique, right? The plush,
definitely.
right? I think that's a African American thing. Nothing against them, right? I'm just talking about African immigrant, spots.
Okay, so all of them I can recommend, but I say for your first time out, if it's been a while or you're just trying to check out one of these spaces, I would say start out with Purple Rose. Get your feet wet with Purple Rose because you're going to get ambiance. And I feel like your age group is going to be there. She said, I am elderly. And I feel like your age group is going to be at Purple Rose. I think that is the difference that is a standard, and the difference that Purple Rose has established is that they naturally grab, or the elderly crowd, older people, or certain, I would say that age group of 35 plus kind of gravitated to Purple Rose because they limit the dancing space, they provide seating. And here's the reality: if you're 35 and plus and you go out, you're going out to look cute and dance just a little bit. For me, I go out for the music and dancing. But most people, they go out to look cute and sit around and chat, right? And dance
Mhm,
occasionally if a good song comes on, right? And I
mhm,
think that's what Purple Rose allows you for, to have that option, whether I want to dance or not. That option is there, and I can still be comfortable in this space. Whereas traditional nightclubs, they really limited the seating, right? And so you were forced to be, on the dance floor, even if you didn't want to be dancing. And you just had to tell yourself, well, if I want to go to this club, let me just wear comfortable shoes and let me prepare myself to stand up all night. But the thing about Purple Rose, again, why you will see an older crowd has gravitated to that. He provides a lot of seating and he provides group seating. He really encourages that group outing experience. So, like we're talking about 8 or 10 of y'all get together. Instead of being at home, you can go out, you can socialize, and you can hear good music and you can enjoy yourself. That's why I would say for you, Miss Mary, sis, start out at Purple Rose Lounge and enjoy yourself. Tell them Denise said I know the owner there too.
Okay, okay. Well, since Mary, right? And anytime you go to Purple Rose, just say Denise sent you. And for me, I don't know. It's like, it's like whatever you like, whichever one you like, right? It's like, so let me just ask though, right? Which one Casa Afrique, then which crowd Casa Afrique is going to be? Is it a blend of maybe is it an upscale thing? It's not so much about age, but upscale where the ambience that you keep bringing up here, if you like good experience, you want to stay within the northern suburbs in the African immigrant community, like you want to listen to great Afro beats, is Casa Afrique for that kind of a crowd? No matter the age.
I would say he had a great mix. He had a really intergenerational mix of crowd on Saturday. I will say
But that was
that.
just a soft launch, though. We're talking about
Exactly.
long term.
So,
We're talking
and
about
that's
long
that's
term
what
thing
I'm
here.
that's what I was gonna say. On Saturday, he had a great mix, and I'm sure
Mhm,
that's probably done due to his relationship, his social capital. Where the
mhm,
rest of the time, he won't be relying on that, right? He's gonna be relying on his name and his ambiance to draw the crowd. And so I can't say right off of this first go around what is going to be his niche, what's his group niche of people, right?
mhm,
And this is like niche is important. And people think, oh, even in nightclubs, niche is not important. No, everybody has their niche, right? You can set your ambiance, your music, all those things set the niche for you. If
mhm,
you go to Plush, you're gonna hear more hip hop, R&B, trap music, right? And so you may get older people, but you're gonna get older people that not ready to grow up, right? You're gonna get these older men that probably dating women in their early 20s, and
Which
that's just
which part which part are you talking about here?
this is Plush, and this is
Oh,
what
gosh. Okay.
this is just what it is, right? I
Okay.
like Plush because they have a great menu, and so if you go there from 3 p.m. until like 10 p.m., you can eat. It's a family experience. I think that's what's great about them. And then Sunday is their brunch. Oh my gosh, that thing is waiting line. The brunches are lit, they're packed, and you're going to be waiting
What's
probably
on
an
the menu? I
hour
mean, what's
for a
on the
table.
menu? What's on the menu at
The
Plush?
menu is soul food. So you're gonna
Oh,
get, your
okay.
grits, your shrimp and grits. You're gonna get your greens, your turkeys, your chicken. You know,
Mhm.
you're gonna
So
get your
the typical African American dish, soul food, right?
yes,
Typical.
salmon
Okay.
bites. Yes, so you're gonna
Mhm,
get good food. You're not just going there because it's a club. It's a
mhm,
restaurant slash lounge. So if you go the earlier part of the day, their happy hour is great. They have great drinks on their happy hour. They have great happy hour menu. The food is really great, right? And
mhm,
so what they get then in the nighttime is that younger crowd, that hip hop younger crowd that's going to be there. You're going to see a lot of 18, 21, up age group with some elderly men because these men that want to be with young girls, that's where they're going to be. Um, and then you get to Purple Rose again. Purple Rose may have a few young people, but I see more of that 35 plus crowd that's going to be at Purple Rose. So everybody has their niche. Jambo is the same thing. You're going to see a lot of young women and maybe some older men at Jumbo because a lot of the women in my age group, they're saying, oh, I don't want to go to Jumbo because it's too packed, too many little children. The women are the only ones who ever is going to complain about little children. Men don't never complain about little children or the crowd being too young or have anything with the age group, right? And so you're going to see the women more mature women gravitate to the places where they see more of us mature women hanging out. And so
I do take exception to that. Men do complain about, where little folks are hanging out, right? Where like 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds, or
oh
20-year-olds are hanging.
nice. So you guys have matured. That's
I,
nice to hear. Some people are
yes,
reading their maturity level.
I
So
do
we
take
start to see
exception to
gray
that.
hair and
I
then
do
we
take
get some
exception to
maturity.
that for my men. What?
We see some gray hair and then we see some maturity.
Well,
Ladies, now you know. If you
I do
see
think
gray,
I do take exception to that, right? Is like I think men have choices. They don't just go anywhere where 18, 19-year-olds be hanging out. So I mean, about Plush though, is it mainly hip hop, R&B type of thing, or do they do some Afro beats or whatever?
yes, you're not gonna go to anywhere nowadays, and they're not gonna throw in Afro beats. You'll even go to Nolo's in Uptown. You
Mm-hmm.
go to the North Loop. You'll go to Uptown, North
Mm-hmm.
Loop, white owned, and you'll hear Afro beats. Everybody knows Burna Boy. Everybody knows Davido. So they're gonna throw that in there, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when you talk about what's their dominant crowd and flow, it's going to be that trap music.
Okay.
Yeah, where you can't
Okay.
put no pronunciations is happening in the song.
Okay. Okay.
Swerve and swerve. That's what you're gonna get at Plush, right? And so, but of course, Casa Afrique, it's in the name. It was Hipco from beginning to end. However, no. He brought some East Coast New York old school, and the room was just even more lit. So that's how you know you have a good DJ. He was able to really mix it up, and
Mm.
kept it flowing all night.
Obviously, but the dominant music there is, Afro beats.
Yes.
Okay, Afrobeat. That's good. That's good. Well, folks, now I mean the entertainment space in the northern suburbs in Brooklyn Park, Brooklyn Center, Crystal, wherever you are in the suburb or you are coming from out of state. Minnesota, man, is a place to be now, I guess, right? We got Casa Afre, we got Jambo, we got Oreo. I didn't know Oreo close for renovation. I mean, I'm
Oh,
just hearing it.
oh,
Oreo, okay,
not
Oreo,
Oreo.
okay, Oreo, Oreo close, okay, Oreo. I didn't know they closed for renovation, and then you have Papa Rolls, man. So it's
Yes,
like, I
yes.
mean, we have a vibrant, I guess, vibrant entertainment scene. So I
We
guess,
do.
I mean, this, yeah, I mean, I guess this December is gonna be popping, right? If you are visiting Minnesota this December, you want to listen some to great Afro beats, want to hang out with your Liberian people, you got these 4 spots. But go ahead.
But I wanted to kind of touch on the fact that Sis Mary was talking about 60 and older, right? Because I
Mhm.
was talking to somebody and I was like, and no, they were already, pushing back on Casa Afrique and why they may never go. And I said, you know what? You want we want these establishments to cater to the adult crowd, but the adult crowd don't really go out consistently and they need to make money. And so even if the intention is I'm going to cater to the adult crowd don't go out every single weekend. The 18 to 21 to 25, they're out every single weekend, right? And they're the most brokest people. But for some reason, every weekend they find money to go out and spend it at the club. But that 35 and up, it's like special occasions. We were out. I bet you most of us was out because it was a Thanksgiving weekend. We're used to the all black events taking place on the Saturday after Black Friday. It's been a tradition around here that these nightclubs or these lounges are going to host an all black event. So even though his event was not an all black event, most people were wearing black in the space, right?
Mhm.
And so that's why I believe a lot of people were out, and that is unfortunate. These establishments cannot make money depending on the older crowd because we are not out consistently enough, and we have every type of excuse, of why we don't go to an establishment, and then you wonder why most of the establishment don't cater to us. You're not the crowd that's making the money. Gold Room, people will complain about Gold Room. Gold Room is downtown. You have Union downtown. You have Giddy. You have Giddy downtown. And outside of Union, both Gold Room and Giddy, they're African owned.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Tantrum was down there too, but
Yeah.
they didn't own the building, and so the owner lost the building, and so therefore they had to leave, right?
Okay.
I ran into my friend. He was the one of the owners for that spot, and I actually met him last Saturday at Casa Afri. He was there for that launch. But yeah, so and as I was talking to that person, I was like, you guys don't want to come out. You don't want to patronize these businesses, and eventually they may set the tune and the ambiance for y'all, but you guys are not their customers at the end of the day because you don't come out every weekend. You don't come out enough. And so if you older crowd, if you're listening, like prove me wrong.
So for Minneapolis, then, right? Yeah, let's just because I think you wanted to talk about Minneapolis. Let's just touch on Minneapolis. For Minneapolis, you said the Gaiety, you have the Union, and then you have which one? The Gold
Gold
Room.
room, the gold room.
Okay, the Gold Room. So for the downtown crowd, those that want to, because yeah, Tampton used to be there, and Tampton used to be popping, man, with so many with different crowds. As I said,
Yeah.
folks from East that place used to be popping, used to be packed. Is that how Gaiety is now? Is that
Oh
like
yeah.
has Gaiety taking over that crowd or something?
Diddy took over that crowd. I would say Gold Room has more of an African American crowd, like Plush, and
Okay.
Giddy has that African immigrant crowd, and then Tantrum had that African crowd, right?
Mhm.
Union is still a mix of. It's really diverse. It's going to get white. It's going to be African American. They're going to be. They have a different crowd. But as
Mhm.
far as the crowd that we're talking about, mostly you're going to see them at Giddy, and you're going to see them at the Gold Room. They're going to be having either the African American crowd or they're going to have the African crowd.
Okay, okay, that's great. Well, folks, hopefully you can check out. I mean, this December, man, you want to get your party on. If someone is visiting you, you want to take them out. You have all these different options. You want to go downtown, there's options there, right? You want to stay in the African immigrant community, in the northern suburbs here. We have like 4+1 because the African American stuff. Like you want to go down there as a Miss B, you want to go listen to that kind of music. That's all you, right? It's like, but we got 4+1. So enjoy yourself this December. We got folks visiting you, man. You got different options. You want to go out yourself. You want to take your family out. You want to take your boys out, boys night out or girls night out. You have all these different options. So hopefully you can have some good entertainment this December. But I'm talking about the music, right? That all these folks are going to be listening to out there since December, right? Like December, a
Yeah.
lot of folks.
Talking about Burna Boy. It
Yeah, his concert was gone Friday, and I totally
didn't
forgot about
happen.
that. Yeah,
It didn't happen. It got
why?
canceled
Why?
because he canceled himself. And you might want to say, oh, it's canceled culture. He canceled himself. 2 weeks ago, he was very disrespectful to a customer, a patron of his. The lady fell asleep. She brought front row tickets and she fell asleep at his concert. But mind you, he disregards the fact that you were already 4 hours late to that concert. So she had every right to fall asleep waiting on you to show up. And he stopped the music and asked the people to put her out. So they threw the lady out of the concert. And then, of course, social media went wild with the story. And he shows up to give an apology, which he could have kept to himself, and justified why he told the lady to get out of the concert, which made it worse for him. And so therefore he's been having really poor concert ticket sales. People either have been showing up just to cause problems for him or his tickets aren't selling. They showed a Houston show before Minnesota and it was like empty. And
Houston
then
Houston of
yeah,
all places. Houston.
exactly.
Houston
Houston
of all places.
Houston was
Wow.
empty. So he's been having poor concert ticket sales. And then he canceled not only the Minnesota show, because he was supposed to do Minnesota on the 28th, and then Monday today, he was supposed to be in Chicago. So on the 27th, because mind you, my husband knows the owners of the Armory. And so he knew a day before, like he knew 2 days before that it was canceled, even though they were still advertising that the tickets were for sale.
Hmm.
But they took a long time to tell people. They didn't upside the venue didn't update people. Ticketmaster, whoever were selling tickets, still didn't update people to the last. So they sold tickets up until the day of,
Wow.
which was terrible. So hopefully they'll figure out the refund to people. But then the show end up getting canceled. Our show and his Chicago show got canceled, which was scheduled for today.
Man, that's wow. That's
Yeah.
crazy. That's very, very wow. Man, I actually, right, totally forgot about it. And then now it's like, wow, so damn. But a lot of folks are looking forward to that, right? After the whole the video concert, as I said, the way it was
Yeah.
popping, a lot of, oh yeah, Burna Boy is gonna be in town. I don't know, man, but it is
We
what
was
it
gonna
is.
get a booth. We was gonna get a booth. I was kind of like hesitant. I wasn't sure I wanted to go. But then last minute I was like, well, let's get a booth and see what other friends want to go, right? And then
Mm.
when he was calling to find out the booth, his friend was like, oh no, P, that show's been canceled. He was like, what, really? He's like, yeah, that show is canceled. And mind you, this was Wednesday. The actual
No.
cancellation didn't happen until I think Thursday night. Like they were still selling tickets.
Yeah, but the operators already knew, right? That man, that stuff
Yep.
is not going to happen because they could
Yep.
have been preparing. Advance crew could have been in town. All of the last minute logistics, was going to be put in place and things like that. But man, that's really really sad. Whoa,
Yeah.
that's that maybe he should go back. He should go back to maybe he should because December, right, is when a lot of these African artists, right, hip hop, hip African artists, right, be bringing out newer hits. It's like and then newer hits be dropping, and then also Ghana and Nigeria this month, December is festival season. So
Oh
every
yeah,
Ghanaian,
it's 30
every
December in Ghana.
Nigerian, yeah, I
Yes,
mean, it's like if you, I mean, like the thing you guys or the thing we call in Liberia December,
Simply. Yep.
for the Ghanaians and the Nigerians, when it's all about concert, all of their different artists, even the Davidos, like all of the biggest artists will be having like festival, right? It's like they bring out everyone, and so it's like
I don't
Nigerians from
know. I
all over the
don't know if Burna
diaspora,
Boy gonna
right?
make money this year.
I mean, it's like it's back home, man. It's Nigeria, right? It's like it's different, it's different, so they go back there and get you on these wild parties, wild concert, wild festival. So it call it like Dirty December. That's it.
30
Dirty,
December.
yeah,
I
Dirty December. It's like
good
and
luck
both Ghana
there.
and Nigeria. It's like I mean they be going back this month is when they ready go back home because and they look forward to those festivals, right? Because that's where, as I said, any artist, even the newer ones, the older ones, everybody be coming out and doing that, you know. So,
Well, good luck to him. I mean, I one of these days, hopefully I will be in Africa in December.
mm.
It's in the plans, and I hopefully Ghana, in December to check out Ghana, Nigeria, Liberia in December. I would like to have that December and Dirty December experience, but if it's gonna be a Dirty December for Burna Boy, it's gonna be dirty for a different reason.
Well, I mean, it's like he was trying to do it here in the States, right? But man, there's nowhere like home. He can
No.
go and mend fences.
Apologize. Just come back and apologize. Because the music is good. I'm not the big Burna Boy fan, but I have to give respect to the music because, as the events happen, the turn of events, I found myself listening to his music this weekend, right? And I was like, you know what? He got some hits. He really do. Unfortunately for
The thing
him.
about social media these days, you have everyone's a commentator.
Oh
You
yeah.
have citizen journalists. Everything goes viral. So it's like
Really love
it's like
to call us wild citizen
you
journalists.
gotta you gotta be careful, right? What you do out there, how you carry
Well,
yourself,
as a
because
citizen journalist, our opinions matter.
exactly, exactly, right? It's like someone might say, "Hey, man, so is everyone. I mean, the stars have to be careful, have to carry themselves. It's like, I mean, I was listening to one NFL star, right? It's like the scrutiny these guys get, these people get. I don't think any normal human being the way they get called out, right? Like even before we could come on air, right? I was reading a story, right? The Dallas Cowboys, right? One of their cheerleaders is like, she was filling in for one of her friend, right? She used to be one of the cheerleader before, but now she's just on standby, right? And she came filling in for one of her friend, and like, man, social media went wild, body shaming her, stuff like that. So that's the kind of environment we live in, right? Everybody sit down
Never
behind their
get another
screen,
chance. Wow.
yeah, and just go wow and like criticize. It's like, and sometimes they don't know, right? Everyone's a human being, right? Folks you are criticizing or folks you feel like, gosh, I gotta get back at her, I gotta get back at him. It might be destroying either their career or doing something, right? So I mean, it's like these things are so wild these days, man. But that's the environment we live in. That's the current environment we live in. Everything has become entertainment. Whether whether bad entertainment, good entertainment, everything has become entertainment. And folks just want to go get back or get our people and stuff like that. So sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear that about Banner Bro and those that bought their tickets to attend his concert. Sorry to hear that you guys could not. I mean Minneapolis and now Chicago. And I know you had a couple of. I know probably he was touring the U.S. both. I mean this November and December, and now probably all of that is off. So it's crazy, man.
I was gonna check and see if he still has his dates up, but who knows? The venue and him may take a long time to make those announcements. But you know, I don't know about any major concerts, but Minnesota will still be popping this whole month of December. So don't think we're only telling you to come here for these lounges and these nightclubs, but there will be other holiday and community things like Candy Cane Lane at the museum. There will be a lot of like Ice Castle type entertainment to go check it out. They're really, really cute, cool. And it's a whole family friendly thing. Again, pictures with Santa. And the setup at the malls to take picture with Santa is really, really nice, right? Rosedale Mall, we was there on Wednesday, and I love it's like they have like this whole North Pole type setup, right? And so I would say go and check out. It was so interesting. I was like, Sasha, you don't want to take a picture with Santa? No. I low key wanted to take a picture with Santa, but
okay, you should have.
I needed her. I needed her.
You needed her to join the party with you.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good for the kids, right? But as the kids grow up, right, they don't want to do that experience anymore. Picture with Santa. That's the thing they don't want to do, right? Once they pass that whatever age, at 5, 6, 7, the way do it, 10. Nah, you might have to get them to do it. But a lot of stuff be happening. I mean, in December though, right? Year-end parties,
There
yeah.
will be New Year's Eve. I know the clubs will be popping again there. Christmas weekend.
First of all, Liberian people don't go to club New Year's Eve. They go to how you
Watch night.
watch live. So don't advertise New Year Eve. I mean New Year
Well,
Eve coming.
New Year's Day is on
Okay.
Friday.
Okay.
So yeah, New Year's Day is on Thursday or Friday. The first, the second, the third, the fourth. Yeah,
It's
New
Thursday.
Year's Day is on Thursday, actually.
It's on Thursday. It's on
Yeah.
Thursday. So
So for those folks that are not Liberian, New
Mhm.
Year's Eve, the clubs will be popping.
Oh yeah, I mean, for like if you're not Liberian, obviously, right? I don't think. I mean, do these Liberian clubs be open though? Jumbo, I have not
Oh, yeah.
attended. Okay,
Oh, yeah.
okay.
Definitely be open. I haven't attended any of them on New Year's Eve. Unfortunately, the last time my husband and I went to a New Year's Eve event, I think it was 7 nightclub. If even, we don't normally go out on New Year's Eve night. Not that we go to wash night either. We just hang out at home. We just hang out at home and ring in the new year as a family. And the girls like those Welch's juices to pretend like they have champagne, and we ring in the New Year's that way. So
Yeah. So yeah, for New Year's Eve, I know our Liberian people. It's like they go to wash night. That's when if they don't go to church all year, that's
that's
the
when they
one.
go to.
That's the one. That's the one day they will show up in church because they want the New Year to
Yeah, they
meet
come
them,
meet in church. Kind of,
with
oh, then
God.
I'll go to church all year round. No, it
After
never works.
you
It
know
never
after
works.
after partying all year, doing everything all year, that's the one day they gotta be in the presence of God, for the new year to meet them there. So don't advertise club on the entertainment segment tonight, encouraging your Liberian people to show up at a New Year's Eve party. It's not gonna happen, right? They're gonna be at a watch night, praying to God for God to whatever, and things like that. So but
And God sees you. God sees you.
okay, now she's bringing
That
God.
wash night thing is a business. God sees you, because at least for the church know, if they don't get your collection all year round, they're gonna get it on wash night, because wash night be packed, seriously.
So they
But
be
God,
doing collection. I mean, they be doing collection to watch night.
yeah, they do several different collections.
Oh really?
Some people
Oh
turn that
man.
whole week into a revival.
Mm,
I'm sure some
okay.
churches are fasting right now this month. They probably started the first day of the 25-day fast. or whatever day fast. It started on December 1st, and they'll break that fast on New Year's.
Okay, okay. You didn't hear it from me. You heard it from Miss B, right? I don't want. You didn't hear it
No.
from me. Yeah, you heard it from Miss B. But folks, man, we have been discussing December entertainment preview. A lot of stuff gonna be happening this December all over the United States. Obviously, we have focused on Minnesota. Because a lot of things happening in Minnesota, right? Especially when it comes to the African immigrant community, like our Liberian people, our Togolese people, our Najai folks, our Ghanaian folks, all these different spots, is that we got at least our entertainment scene is very vibrant. You go to the other cities, there's only one African club, right? Now there's only one African spot. It's a man, it's like there's nowhere, but you come to a place like Minneapolis, Minneapolis, St. Paul, man, it's like a lot of
You do
anyway,
that.
I shouldn't mention St. Paul because St. Paul now is dead. Everything come
Mm.
to
Remember, it was a Club Afrique. Was it
back in
Club
the days, right?
Paul?
You used to have couple
St.
of
Paul. What was the name of the club in St. Paul? I forgot.
you used to
It
have
was
couple of
Club Africa. I think it was called Club Africa.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, it was called Cup Africa, and then one of the promoters, I think, was Jimmy York, them and those guys. They used to promote
Then
it.
you had they came up here and did Ciroc. So
Yeah,
From Club Africa in St. Paul when that shut down. And there's another reason why I wanted to kind of touch base on that. It's like commercial ownership. Most of them are shutting down because what happened? Club Africa was being ran out of Arnella's. Arnella's the owner. She passed away, and then the kids didn't want it. It got sold, right? And same thing with Ciroc. Ciroc was in Jamming Wings. During COVID, Jamming Wings got shut down. They remodeled. They changed their name, which it's another thing like business can learn from, right? You were jamming wings, you were popping. I mean, you were doing what Jumbo became. That's what jamming wings used to be, right?
no, they
Because
were they were they were both in active competition,
yes,
right?
yes,
It's like they had an active competition going on.
and
Because to your point, right, the crowd that used to go to he had like the crowd. I think Purple Rose is taking now. That's the
mhm,
crowd that used to kind of gravitate towards,
jamming.
yeah, there's like a Jimmy Wings and stuff like that. And so once they closed down and decided to renovate, so folks, I think that's when Purple Rose then maybe they saw opening and say, you know what, we need
Yeah,
to come and cater to a certain crowd.
and then name recognition is so important. It's branding. People were used to jamming wings, right? Whoever went there for wings, I don't remember people even eating wings, right? But it was easy to remember. It was easy to say everybody's jamming wings. Even now, when he opened back up and renamed the place, people still called the place jamming wings, right? And so that was some of the mistakes he made, and which is shut down now. It's closed down. It's been closed since January of this year. But those are some of the major mistakes that you make. And like when you buy an entity, you don't go ahead and change everything. And even when you shut down to renovate, right? You could have
Mhm.
opened right back up with that name. It's like, okay, I don't know who he spoke to, what business advice he got, but that's what ultimately killed him. You didn't come back with the same name. You didn't even come back with your promoters. You felt you could do it all on your own, and so now you're out of business. And I say ownership is important, as these locations, they don't own their space, they're all renting. And I think that's the difference between Jumbo and everybody else. She owns, right? So she's going to have the test of time because she owns her spot. That's the difference between her and all the other folks. Everybody else is renting. And so ownership is powerful, ownership is key.
Well, I think it was on a different segment here. I think on our business segment, I said there's a place, similar restaurant, Denny's.
Yes.
Denny's is right in our environment, and Denny's closed. I say someone one of all these Liberian restaurant around here, one of them should inquire about that spot and just go open, even eat a pepper chicken or whatever, right? Or or fried chicken or something. Go and open it in that spot, because guess what? You will actually get some of the Jimmy York Jumbo crowd, right? Because sometimes folks, it's like, I remember back in the day, you go in a club, you want to go somewhere, right, just to sit and eat something spicy. You don't want to be in the club anymore, you just want to get out of that club environment, right? Or even when the club closes, it's like you want to go somewhere. I remember, like, White Castle back in the day.
Oh my God. White Castle has made so much money off the Black community. The White Castle burned down, it revamped and remodeled and came back. You
You,
see,
you,
White Castle didn't change his look or his name. It came back as the same old White Castle,
you
even
know.
bigger and
So,
better.
so yeah,
Yeah,
so back in the days when you go clubbing, you're so hungry and you want
because it was the
something.
only
So
thing open at 1
that was
a.m.
the only thing. That was the only thing open, right? So, and that's the same kind of a concept. I think it's like, I mean, you guys are in the business environment in a non-profit. You know all these businesses. Encourage one of the Liberian restaurants to go and check out our Dennis. I think it's gonna be a great location for a great restaurant. And it. I don't think it should be a full menu. I just think like something like something spicy,
Why
fried
mess
chicken,
with
pepper
Denny's?
chicken or something.
Go and buy jamming wings. Call it jamming wings again. Evidently, he's not using the name. Go and buy jamming wings. Call it jamming wings and say grand reopening of jamming wings. There are
Okay, even
people
I
just
mean even
scared of if you're scared of partnership and you're scared of coming together. Our community don't have the financial resources, or maybe they do, and the ones that do don't want to put their investment in there. But I don't think it'll be a bad investment at all, because that place, not only does it serve as a restaurant on the bottom floor, you can have the second floor can be for events, and then the third floor, you can use that for events, but the third floor you can use for concerts. I went to what's his name concert, Jazino was at Jamming Wings. I went to Jazino and it was nice. It was popping. We had fun. And that's what you could be having. And the night I was at Jazino, people were on the second level having their own separate event, and they didn't collide with each other, right? And then the bottom floor and all as well was busy. And so with 3 levels, outside patio, all the work has been done, right? The third floor has outside patio, outside seating. So, you can have, it's an all year thing. You got your hookah lounges could be happening outside. There's so much you can do with that event, that space, right? I would encourage us to go and buy that space. Bring your 17, what was the business that I said? That 17 friends got together and is now worth, I don't know how many billions of dollars. The Asian
Alibaba.
Alibaba. 17 friends opened Alibaba in 1990 something, right? Get your 17 friends, come see me, buy Jamming Wins, call it Jamming Wins again. Don't reinvent the wheel. Nobody's creating anything really new and innovative.
We'll call it Liberian wings.
Liberian Wings, there you go. Call it
Okay.
Liberian Wings. Call it Liberian Wings, LIB. Everybody knows that, oh, that's a Liberian club. Even if you don't call it a Liberian club, the crowd comes and will know. African Americans will know. They're eating at Waterside every day. So just think, they'll come. I don't know why the Waterside owner doesn't buy that. I'm going to go talk to him. He needs to buy Jamming Wings.
Okay, folks, this is a 1 hour entertainment show. It's been fun tonight, telling you about all the great entertainment spots in Minnesota, in Broken Park, in the northwest suburbs, in Minneapolis. So, but thank you so much for joining us tonight. It's been a great segment. It's a 1 hour show here. So, Miss B, may I ask you to wrap this up? Last word.
I've been telling you about all these amazing spots. I'm going to name them again. You have your Jumbo Africa in Brooklyn Center. You have your Oral Lounge in Brooklyn Park. You have Casa Afrique in Brooklyn Park. You have Plush in Brooklyn Park. And now in Crystal, you have Purple Rose Lounge, right? And so all here in the northwest suburbs, go and check out any one of them on any given Saturday. There will be a time to be had.
Okay, well, folks, that's it right there. And then, we'll work on bringing some of these owners on here, right, to tell you more about, some of these entertainment spots, on this very entertainment month. We'll work on that. As 2026, we'll work on a lot of guests coming on here, especially on all of our segments, especially something on the entertainment segment. We'll bring owners that own entertainment spaces. We'll bring DJs on here. We'll bring promoters on here. So 2026, man, is going to be basic. We have worked hard to build this platform. We're going to have lots and lots of guests. But as we begin December, we hope you can have great entertainment this December. It's Christmas. A lot of people, it's their favorite time of the year. You go in the stores, holiday music is playing, Jingle Bell and all those stuff. Folks are traveling to Africa, the Decembers, going to Liberia. The dirty December folks going to Nigeria and Ghana. Hope you all, wishing you all a safe travel. Go and have fun.
Travels,
Enter-
yes. I know.
Entertain yourself, but don't over party. It's Africa. But don't over party, right?
Just
Take
be
care of yourself.
careful.
Yeah, be careful. Protect yourself however way. It's wild out there. The party,
Yes.
you go there, you want to let loose. You say America is so stressful. You want to de-stress and all those stuff. Just party responsibly. You know,
Moderation. Don't get carried away.
party responsibly. You know, take
Yeah.
care of yourself. Do the right thing. You know, I know we go out there. You want to act like, again, drink and drive. Do this sometimes for your own safety, right? Just party responsibly, right? Entertain yourself responsibly and come back home safely. So thank you so much for joining us tonight, folks. It's been a great segment, and we'll see you back here tomorrow for our regular segment. You all have a good night.
Created a
And
home
everyone.
with laughter and love. We break down the